I was quite excited but scared to do my interview. I thought it was going to be quite hard and that they were going to ask me a lot of facts and I'd have to know everything about my subject. But in fact, that wasn't the case.
You hear a lot of myths about them being impossible to answer or like outrageous questions, like why did you choose to sit in that chair or something like that, but they were actually not like that at all.
It's honestly just a really calm chat with a couple of really cool people, which is really nice because they really try and like put you at ease.
I read a bit around some of the stuff that I'd mentioned in my personal statement again, and I read up in some current affairs, and in the end none of them came up. None of them came up in the interview, but I think it made me feel a bit more prepared and it made me feel a bit more calm and like I knew what I was doing going into it.
I didn't have to recall facts or anything. It was nothing like a memory test. In fact, I got given pre-reading, which was really exciting, and I made sure I read over it really carefully, and then I got probed a lot of questions about it and got me thinking about new ways to think about biology, which was a lot of fun that I'd never thought about, I'd never done in school before.
The questions were sort of like extracting information from it and your interpretations of it and how that can sort of be used in science, which is really nice because it was like directly applied and you can use your own knowledge and bring that into the conversation as well.
I was at one point given a sentence and I was asked to just talk about it, the sentence structure, the grammar, how it was constructed. So it was all very manageable and quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting because it gave me the opportunity to engage with the material that I would be studying in my course.
In sciences and in STEM subjects there's a lot of graphs and sometimes there's signs and symbols that you might not recognise, and I didn't recognise some of them, and I asked them and that just clarified it for me and made sure I gave the right answer.
There was one point where they thought that the technology should be doing something that it wasn't, but it was no major problem. They just said it wasn't a big deal and just to carry on, it wasn't an issue.
But you do need to consider that the interviewers and the tutors are genuinely really nice people who they want you to do well. They interview you with the hope that the interview will go well. So they're really not going to judge you for like something out of your control.
Honestly, when I applied, I didn't think I was going to get in, but I somehow managed to convince myself before my interview that I had a chance of getting in. And I think that really helped me because it allowed me to not feel like I wasn't meant to be there.
So just relax and try to enjoy it as best you can and try to learn something from it. So even if you don't feel that it went particularly well, just do your best to learn something from it, and then that way it will definitely be a valuable experience.
Yeah, I'd say try to be as natural as possible and go in as your authentic self, because like I thought of it and I remember my teacher told me, and I can really take away from this, is that you're never really going to get the opportunity to talk to a world-leading expert again about your subject, so just have a bit of fun with it, if I'm being honest with you, and probe about things that you're really excited about and show that you're excited, because you're never going to get this opportunity again. So take it more as a fun conversation that you can increase your academic knowledge about rather than the test.
You're allowed to take the advice that you're given and change your mind. And I think if I'd have known that at the time, I'd have been a lot more confident going in.